Hi there and welcome back to the Project Corner. In this video I'm going to look at the September update for Project for the Web. It's a small video this time because there's basically just two updates that we have. There's an improvement in filter options, and then there is also a new way to import your MPP files into a Power App. So without further ado, let's just head on over to the laptop. For the first update, we're going to have a look at one of our schedules in Project for the Web. This is a improvement of the filter option. So let's see how filtering is done on a schedule as big as this one. Let's create a couple of tasks that are done, and this might be something that is underway. So let's put 50 in here and another 50 in here, just so that we have a couple of changes in here. So I'll add myself, and remember that nice little update that was added recently. I can add Miriam as well, and I can add her just as a group member, or just as a member. Not part of the group. And do you see that edged side? We're in the process of adopting Windows 11, so these edges are starting to appear everywhere. You might start to get familiar with that. Just a sign. So I'm not going to add her to a group, so I'm perfectly fine with just how it is here. Moving into filters. Clicking on the filter option here, there is this improvement where you now have the option to filter on a word. So let's click on decide, and there's one task that says decide, but there's another couple of them that say confirm. So let's have a look at confirm. So there's actually 3 activities that say confirm. So now you have an easy and fast way. It is very fast. You have a fast way to filter down tasks if you know the name of those tasks. But there's also an improvement on finish date. So you can have a look at all the tasks that are late. Well, there's just a one. Or everything is late. Let's have a look. So start date, and then finish date, and everything turns up red. Okay, that makes sense. So let's start this a little bit more into a environment that we know won't produce only late tasks. Still, there's a lot that is late, but that's okay. So let's see every task that is late, and you will see that there's less tasks in here than used to be. Now let's have a look at everything that has a due date this week. And that is a nice little, ooh, can I export this to Excel? Let's see. Because that will be a very nice little summary for what we need to do this week, right? Oh, no, it doesn't filter down the Excel. That is too bad. Microsoft, if you're listening to this, I would love to have that new feature. So filtering this week is purely visual for the app itself. Next week works just the same, and I can click on anything that is assigned to Eric. And I can say, okay, well, what does Eric need to do this week or next week or in the far future? Well, it seems I'm done. So that's good or bad because everything is delayed for me to do. Yeah, so everything is delayed. That's not good. We can also look at progress. Is there anything that Eric is doing that is not started? Yes, there is. Is there anything that he has already completed? No, I was lazy. And then in progress, also no tasks. But if, for instance, I change this to 25%, we can see that that task is now popping up in the filter option. So this is an advanced filter compared to what we used to have. And I'm particularly happy that this interaction is quite fast and has a couple of lovely features in here. So finish date, progress buckets, and assign to. We haven't seen buckets yet, but we can of course create a couple of buckets like next up, in progress, done. Will that? Nope, it doesn't trigger. Okay, move on. Oh, move in, sorry. And we'll put those two in here. Oh, sorry. And they're done. So if I move back to the grid and I go in and filter, I have the option to filter on everything that's next up or that is in progress. Be aware that these filters are multi-select. So if you don't want to have next up anymore, just remove that. And see if there's anything this week that's upcoming. Nope. Or in progress. Nope. We're not doing anything here. All right. So let's see if that filter also works on the board, where I have exactly the same filter option and it works just as we've expected. And I can add Erik again, or I can add both Miriam and myself, or I can just add Miriam, and we'll say that this is next up, and we can see, okay, well, what's up for next week, or what's up for next up. This wouldn't make sense to have this filter obviously in the board view, but there it is. So let's click on filter and let's clear all filters, and we're back to our full board view as well as our full grid view. So that's it for the filter option. I like it. It's a nice little feature which has a lot of power once these schedules start to build up and increase in size. So up for the next update that was announced at the September update blog. For this we need to go into Power Apps, and specifically we're going to look into the Project Accelerator. You could also have this feature without the Project Accelerator, but because I've already reviewed the Project Accelerator, we're familiar with the functionality here. So let's navigate to projects. There's nothing in here yet, but what you will notice is that there's this nice little button here, import from project, and that's very cool. So for this demo, I created this new business import version 3 file, which is similar to the ones that we have previously discussed in other videos. What it contains resources, it contains a baseline, it contains deadlines, and all kinds of things that we won't see in Project for the Web yet. So let's see what happens. Does this import from project give me a nice little overview of what's missing? Let's see. Import from project. What I need to do probably is close this project, so let me just do that. This import feature gives me a couple of options. It tells me, well, what is your default calendar, which is a very nice improvement, who's the project manager, and what scheduling mode are you going to use. Now this is currently locked because, well, it's probably locked. This is currently locked because it is a locked def parameter. This field is read-only because the parameter is defined by your organization and can't be changed. So this is something that the administrator needs to do for your environment. Now be aware that in project operations, another version where you also use Project for the Web, you do have the option to individually go in and change the parameter. Then here you have a button called MPP file, and we have the option to choose. So once I've clicked it, I can click on the new business import and I click on open. It will be updating and it tells me that this file is now updated. I can change it. I can change it to another file. I can change it to another file, but it's okay here for now. So I was confused a little bit that there wasn't a save option or a next option, but there is actually an import option on the left side, which is kind of confusing. I would have hoped to see it here on the right bottom side where we usually see save and cancel and kinds of things like that. If in your organization you have a business process flow, that business process flow will show on top as well. But in the Project Accelerator, I don't have that. So let's click on import. And after a short while, it will tell you, please wait, project import has started. You will be notified in a few moments. And after a few moments, you get this nice little report on everything that failed. Doesn't sound too optimistic, but here is at least a very clear understanding of what isn't in this version of your schedule. So manually tasks isn't going to happen. It occurred once in the schedule, so there's not that much of an issue. The deadline that I showed you isn't there. Resources are all removed. The baseline is removed, and there's certain links that are finished to start, that are not finished to start. All other link types have been removed. So be aware that these things still are an issue for Project for the Web that we used to have in Microsoft Project. So if we are okay with this, I can click on Go to Project, and here we have that nice little project that we used to use. If I click on Tasks, I'll get the Project for the Web interface with the nice filtering options that we discussed quite recently. I have the filter options here that we have discussed earlier in the video. And I can work from this project within Project for the Web or within Project Accelerator or any of the other Power Apps that leverage Project for the Web. That's it for the September update. I'll be back next month with another update video. In the meantime, I will be posting a couple of videos on Power BI.